Are you striving to achieve balance or harmony? My favorite example of harmony versus balance is a story about my aunt who, before retiring, had an accounting business. When she was still working during tax season from January to April, she worked a lot more hours than normal and didn't really plan to do much else. Then, after tax season was done, she took off to Cozumel in Mexico for at least 1 month, where she did a lot of scuba diving and relaxing. This story is a perfect example of the fact that there are seasons throughout the year and in our life when we place more focus, time, and energy on some things and less on others. And that's to be expected. It's just the way life goes. It's part of our life. I am sharing this with you. I'm sharing this with you today because this past Saturday we had the fall equinox and entered Libra season. Happy birthday to all the Libras, which includes my dad and my youngest sister. The topic of balance always seems to come up around the equinoxes because of the equal day and night. But it seems to be a bit more amplified at the fall equinox since it also kicks off Libra season, and Libra is represented by the symbol of the scales. When I first started working with the moon and the seasons, I used to think of the equinoxes as a time to set intentions for achieving balance, usually a version of work-life balance. Then, as I became more tuned into the cycles of the moon and the seasons, I began to realize that achieving balance is possible, but maintaining it is unrealistic, exhausting, frustrating, and pointless. For example, we experience an equal balance of light and dark twice per year at the spring equinox and the fall equinox. The times in between, the light and dark are moving through cycles of increasing and decreasing. So, why in the hell are we killing ourselves to achieve balance and then beating ourselves up for not maintaining it when we only temporarily experience equal balance of light and dark twice per year on just a couple times a year? I believe it's because we have fallen out of rhythm with nature, which has resulted in the creation of um, falling into unnatural, unhealthy, or unsustainable rhythms and cycles. What if we started to see the moments of balance as a transition point and seeing it as the pause in between instead of a sustainable goal? Doesn't that feel so much better than trying to force it or maintain it? What if we decided to strive for harmony instead of balance in life and learn to appreciate and celebrate the balance when it happens, when we actually experience it naturally? As we move through fall, which tends to be a busy season for many, I invite you to set an intention to feel harmonious. Close your eyes and envision what this can look and feel like for you. How do you want to feel throughout this fall season? What expectations and obligations, either self-imposed or imposed by others, do not align with that feeling and vision? If you're not quite sure, take a moment to look at or think about the plans and activities you have coming up this season. Which ones are you looking forward to, and which ones are less desirable? If you can't completely eliminate the less desirable ones, how can you incorporate more fun into them? If you would like to incorporate working with the lunar cycle and seasons into your life, join me in the Moon Manifesting Rockstars Facebook group, or right here on YouTube on Friday, September 29th at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern for the Aries full moon live chat. And the replay will be available in both places afterwards if you can't make it live. So next up is Moon Musings. I've changed that a little bit, and I've decided to pull a moon themed card for that every week, which I think is much more fun. So the card that I pulled this week is from the Moonology Messages Oracle deck. It's a brand new deck, recently released, and the card is perfectly, of course, perfectly aligned. It is the Moonstone card, and it says, slow it down. So stop striving so much. Stop striving to make things happen. If you look at the moon and follow the lunar cycle, it goes through its phases without pushing, without rushing, and they all get accomplished. The same thing happens in nature. The cycles move on, and without, nature doesn't push or strive or try to hurry things along. So slow it down. That might mean physically slowing down and taking the time to pause. It might also mean lessening the number of things that you have, not being so busy, and slowing down your schedule. So think about how you can apply this message, slow it down, and incorporate a little bit more slowness in your life as we move through the fall season.